Today I wanted to sit you down by the campfire, sing Kumbaya, and tell you a great story about a horrible delivery driver who just completely went AWOL. He went completely off the walls. Never in my life have I seen a delivery driving story quite as bad as this one. And I myself was a delivery driver back in my prime, and I don't think I have ever done this to a single customer. I have never even heard of something like this, which goes to show you how crazy this story is. I'm talking about this Grubhub driver who switched this customer's drink for a cup of piss. A literal cup of urine, human urine. So a little bit of backstory. This guy named Caleb Woods was feeling a little hungry one night, didn't want to make anything, didn't want to go out. So, like any normal person, he decided to order out, and he decided to order himself some spicy chicken at Chick-fil-A. I'm actually not exactly sure if that's what he got. I know of a few things he got, but he ordered from Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A does not do delivery, but they do Grubhub. And so if you don't know, Grubhub and DoorDash, these places are basically delivery drivers for places that don't have their own delivery drivers. So they will go to like restaurants and food chains, and they go and grab your grub and bring it to you, so you don't have to really go anywhere. You know, it's pretty nice. But definitely you have to rely on people you don't know. That I believe you can just choose your own hours in Grubhub and DoorDash, so these people don't really have to do it. There's been stories of people like taking food from orders, just being real little gremlins. They're like gnomes stealing your shit. And this person who was delivering Caleb's Chick-fil-A accidentally swapped out his Chick-fil-A milkshake for a golden cup of delicious pee. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but if I order a milkshake and I start drinking out of it and it doesn't taste like a milkshake, I am immediately like pissed. It's so crazy to me. He handed off this food, the other guy took a drink, and then he's like, oh shit, and like determined that it was pee. Like, of course it's not gonna taste like your milkshake, but the fact that he deduced like Batman that it was pee is crazy. I wouldn't even know what pee tastes like. Anyway, that's aside from the point. After this, after he probably took a drink and puked his guts out, I guess he called the Grubhub driver, and basically the driver came back and he went and confronted him and asked him, is this pee? Now, that is quite a lofty statement, but he must have been on The Price is Right, because he hit it right on the money. And the driver told him that, yep, they work long hours, and he accidentally mistook his milkshake cup for a full cup of pee. Now, this had to have been this huge coincidence, because otherwise, how would you do that? Presumably milkshakes, they come in like a clear plastic cup. So I don't know if Chick-fil-A like puts theirs in like a different cup or whatever that you can't see through, because then like that's kind of on the person receiving the food's fault for actually seeing through it. So it couldn't have been a clear cup, because he would have saw it and been like, that's not a milkshake, that's a golden surprise. And so the whole thing had to have been a huge coincidence, because if the driver mistook the pee cup for the actual goodie cup, then they had to have been like very similar cups. So he had to have peed in a Chick-fil-A cup, and the whole situation is just crazy to me. Like, how would you even mix that up? It goes on to say afterwards that Woods did fall ill after drinking the urine, which, big surprise. I would probably be puking my guts out afterwards. I would be shitting my pants also. Moral of the story is that if you drink pee, you'll probably be sick. That's not something that people earnestly like to drink. That's just not something that is very good. And so he contacted Grubhub, and it took Grubhub 4 days to respond to him. 4 whole days. This is the craziest thing that I've seen in a long time about a delivery driver mess up, and it took Grubhub 4 days. What were they doing in those 4 days? Like responding to someone else getting one less chicken nugget in their McDonald's meal that they got delivered to them? Like, this seems like a pretty intense situation for Grubhub, and their lack of like speed in the situation to get it fixed and get the customer the right service that they deserve. Like, it's just not a good look for them. And I guess they also only refunded him $18, which for the meal that he paid was a little over half. I guess the meal was nearly $30, and for someone who accidentally got a cup full of piss, it is baffling that they only reimbursed him for 18 of the $30 that he spent. Like, it was just a missing order. Like, oh, oops, they forgot your milkshake. That would have been like, okay, like, just reimburse me for the milkshake or whatever. Or like, they just didn't bring the milkshake, just give me my money back for that. But he got physically ill from this. He had to endure this huge hardship, and they were just slacking off, sitting with their thumbs up their asses this whole time, and just threw him a few dollars of change out of their pockets that they had. Like, they were just giving birthday money to their niece or whatever. They didn't even give back the delivery fee or the tip that the customer that Caleb had provided. That's even more crazy to me, because it was literally all on the driver's fault, and that like stems to Grubhub. Like, even though the guy was acting out of his own volition, it's still on Grubhub because he's one of their employees. And so this complete thug took advantage. I don't even think he meant to, but still, like, it happened, and Grubhub is just super not remorseful in this situation, which is like, shame on them. They acted like they didn't give 2 fucks about what happened to him. After that, the driver was fired from Grubhub and are unable to work for them anymore, which I think is good. You make that grotesque of an error, you're bound to get a lot of repercussions. This driver was probably a bit delusional. It couldn't have been on purpose, though. Like, in what world would you mix those up unless they looked very similar? Yeah, I just thought this was such a crazy and kind of goofy story about this guy swapping out his customer's drink for a cup of good old warm piss. That too, he had to have had the cup in his car for a long time, or else like it would have been warm, you know, and a milkshake is cold, so he had to have been carrying around this load of pee in his car for a while. And even then, I would stop to take a pee, like, if I really had to go. It's not that big of a deal. Sure, you might lose out on a little bit of profit, but it saves you so much headache. Go to the bathroom, like, it's not that big of a deal. I don't understand. But yeah, that's about the story that I wanted to share. I thought it was kind of goofy, but yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you like the video. Check out Patreon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.